Ayahuasca Chemists at number 1. Someone tried to stop me.
You can't go and put your team top 3 every fucking time you win a game.
Number 1, your number 1 power ranked motherfucking team, and this motherfucking bitch is Gary the Chemist. We fucking coming. We coming. Cooper motherfucking Cup, baby. He's back.
What the hawk is cooking?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Week 8 is upon us. Another week in the books. The season is flying by. Cherish every moment. Gary the Chemist here, your commissioner, the greatest around, manager the Ayahuasca Chemists. I'm here today to talk to you about some football, some power rankings, some waiver wire pickups, and we're going to go ahead and look at last week. Oh, wait. These are the wrong set of glasses, ain't they? Okay, here we go. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay, so there we go. Let's just get to the next part.
Week recap.
Alrighty, there we go. Your results from the past week. Ladies and gentlemen, at the very top, your commissioner, Gary the Chemist, taking on the mighty Wombats. I felt pretty good. Another win in the books, if I do say so myself. So real quickly, some star performers include Josh Allen, now that he has Amari Cooper in place. Kyron Williams that have played well. Oh my God. Oh, we thought the curse was in place. We thought we were going to lose our boy Monty, but he came right back. I thought my boy, he back. All right. And on the other side of things, the mighty Wombats, biggest performance of the week, oddly enough, for Rashad Bateman. A man I told him he should have benched for Brandon Ayuk. Hint, hint, Brandon Ayuk. He's done for the year. Yeah, he likely tore his ACL. That's a rough one, but it was a good fantasy decision right there. I was surprised on how well Bateman played. Saved him from the skullfuck, to be honest. There was many teams on skullfuck watched this past week, and all of which could not muster out the skullfuck. Another game right here, missed the bye week, taking on the TribeCalledQuestionable. Another game that was on skullfuck watch, but Lamar Jackson, 34 points. To really keep everything nice and in place there for him. Not really many performances outside of that. Even his kicker played terribly. 0 for 1 on field goals, 1 for 1 on extra points. So he ended up with a dud, a 0. And then the TribeCalledQuestionable. Jaden Daniels goes down early, but K9 Kenneth Walker on his motherfucking birthday put a solid performance together, 23 points, and then JJ with another 20. Next, after median took on the GreatGatzby and the GreatGatzby. So what ended up happening here? After median, Baker Mayfield, 29 points. Breece Hall, 26 points. Josh Jacobs, 20 points. But Debo caught pneumonia. Oh my God, David Njoku had 23 points past weekend. How did you only score 130? These are solid performances. There we go. He took home the dub. The GreatGatzby, Jalen Hurts, 22. And then, week after week, I continue to be proven wrong. Again after again. King Henry, tip of the cap to you, my friend, with 25 points. After median took the dub. RageQuitSeason, 137. DirtyBurt going up against RageQuitSeason, put up 102. So we kind of talked a little bit about it in the week pick'ems, but what we were looking to see, how were the Lions going to attack that the defense of the Minnesota Vikings. And you know what? The defense, they blitzed, and they had pressure 52% of the time, but Jared Goff missed the cool. All right, what a performance. 19 points in fantasy, but 22 for 25, 282 touchdowns. That's my boy. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, 25 points. Studs, absolute studs. But we can't talk about DirtyBurt this week without talking about his 21 points from his kicker. Dear Lord, ladies and gentlemen. RageQuitSeason, plug and play, Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes ain't it. And he played Joe Mixon. I thought Tony Pollard was going to have a good game. He didn't, but Joe Mixon, 26 points, 2 touchdowns. Incredible. Next, we got Cincinnati Lights taking on the KneeCapCollector, John Anderson. 21 points from Kyler Murray from Cincy Lights. Bijan, despite Tyler Gill still getting the touches, Bijan took him to the house. 21 carries, 100 yards, a touchdown, 3 catches, 40 yards. What a performance. Chase Brown moving on up. Neighbors with a disappointing game, but what a terrible game by Daniel Jones. And then T. Higgins with 18. Tank Bigsby with 23. Y'all know how I feel about the backup talented running backs. And then the kneecap collectors. Not a great performance. Couldn't crack 100 this past week, but look at Kareem Hunt over there for him. 22 points. 22 points. 0.8 from Devontae Smith, 3.5 from Laporta, 0.6 from JMO, 2.3 from Tyreek, 1 from his kicker. I'm surprised this man cracked 90. Next, and last but not least, GoPackGo, our lead point scorer of the week, taking on CopOffMyHock. So GoPackGo continues to rely heavily on his running backs. 27 points from Saquon Barkley, 32 points from Jahmyr Gibbs, and then DK Metcalf went down with an injury. Was it a hammy? It might have been a hammy. I think it might have been a hammy. I don't remember if it was a hammy. 20 points for him too. So a good performance there. And then CopOffMyHock. Yeah, Anthony Richardson, he ain't it. But that trade, kind of looks a little nice for him, kind of a little not, in the sense that Aaron Jones puts up 21 points, but he lost his stud Chris Godwin, number 2 wide receiver on the season. That's a tough loss. The Denver defense put up 20 points for him to give him, I believe he cracked the median on that one. So there you go. Those were the week recaps. No skull fucks this week, ladies and gentlemen. No skull fucks. But let's get to the waiver wire.
Waiver Wire.
There we go. The waiver wire. So, first and foremost, the biggest bid of the week, $32. $32 for Jalen McMillan. Mike Evans, hammy. I don't know why they played him. I do not know why they played him. But so Jalen McMillan steps into a prominent role here, but we're not 100% sure of who's really going to get all the touches. But $32 bid for him. GoPackGo with $21. He thought he was going to be able to get him for that 21, but no. Mike Hoffman says, I will not remain at the bottom of the league here, and I appreciate the fact that the man is still out there grinding. Then there's Juwan Jennings, $22 bid. We should get Debo back soon, but with Ayuk gone, Juwan Jennings might start playing a bigger role, but now we got Ricky Pearsall back, so we'll see how that all works out. Tutu Atwell, there goes, down goes Brandon Ayuk. Elijah Moore picked up. Jalen Tolbert, Bo Nix, Baltimore. But the thing that I found interesting was, I believe this morning, I don't know, I don't see it here, but I think, I do not see it here. I thought somebody dropped him. I thought someone dropped Hopkins. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Either way. Oh, there it is. Yes, Trevor dropped Hopkins, picked up Bo Nix. Interesting. We'll see how that all plays out. Hopkins traded this morning to the Kansas City Chiefs. Juju goes down. Hammy. Y'all know how I feel about them hammies and those wide receivers. So maybe Hopkins does something. Who knows? Who knows? It's really time will tell. This might be one of those late career changes that literally they do nothing and we all forget that he's on the team. Let's get to the next one.
Power Rankings.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your power rankings. A little bit is shifting, a little bit stays the same. A lot of people were in the general vicinity of where they were at before. It's odd, I had some good performances from some teams, and they moved down. Why? Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to find out. Let's just get to number 12.
Number 12.
Number 12, coming off an ass beating by yours truly, the Ayahuasca Chemist. The mighty Wombats down one spot. He's really just been shifting between 12 and 11. So, 6 losses in a row. Absolutely terrible. Down goes Ayuk. Bateman stepped in nicely, but at the same time, is it going to be enough to really kind of help him out here? I got to remember to put my timers on. There we go. So, the mighty Wombats. Let's just start talking about. Let's talk about what's good about his team. Okay. Yeah, not a lot to get excited about, man. Okay. So CJ Stroud, he's even been kind of poor on the quarterback room there. Chuba Hubbard, we'll see how they. I keep waiting for Jonathan Brooks to come on through. Najee's been okay-ish, just needs to play the Raiders every week and he'd be fine, right? Jordan Addison's been a little bright spot. That said, he's had a lot of dud weeks too. He's got the 22 points, but just this week he only had 9 points. And then you're looking at what? Bateman, one good game. Kelsey, who knows? Kelsey, Noah Gray kind of outplayed him there. Did I write down the numbers? Yeah, so Kelsey ran 29 routes, but I believe that Noah Gray got out-targeted. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure, though, because my handwriting's getting a little sloppy here. But top to bottom, really nothing to get excited about. The only thing he could hope for is that Christian McCaffrey comes back and scores like 3 touchdowns a week, and then maybe, just maybe, he won't finish in like the bottom 3. But I do appreciate the hustle. By the way, Devontae Adams, don't get excited. Just don't. Aaron Rodgers, he's fucking trash. There you go. Trash, trash, trash. And I know when you drafted him, you didn't know Aaron Rodgers was a quarterback. But you did think Aiden O'Connell was going to be, so there you go. You get what you get. Next.
Number 11.
All right. Mike Hoffman, Mighty Wombats. Good friend here. Him and RageQuitSeason continuing to switch spots. Here's the thing about these things. If I think about things in terms of tiers, to be honest, the Mighty Wombats are kind of by themselves at 12 right now. Feels like there's not a lot to get excited because once we step on up to number 11 here with RageQuitSeason, there is some things that kind of look a little exciting, okay? Joe Mixon coming right back into the fold. Pollard's looked good for the most part this year, though he is going to go up against Detroit this weekend. He's got K. Dotton, who should actually see an increase in his touches or targets with the, loss of both the wide receivers. Puka Nakua should come back at some point. Jonathan Taylor should come back at some point. But all these some points, all they do is really tell us that he's not looking to be a super competitive guy at the moment. Okay. He's lost 8 in a row, ladies and gentlemen. 8 in a row. 8 in a row. 8 in a row. I feel for you, man. That's tough. I also feel for you because you're starting 2 tight ends. Pathetic. All right, next.
Number 10.
Despite picking up a median win, despite only being 7-7 in our rankings, despite doing a pretty good job at that trade, if you ask me. CopOffMyHock, down a spot, number 10. Okay, let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the sad. Okay, so number 1, at quarterback, you cannot trust Anthony Richardson the rest of the season. You cannot. Until he does something, then you can plug him in. You're better off sticking with Caleb. And we'll see. Sometimes rookie quarterbacks, they tend to go up and down here. We'll see with Caleb. But Washington this week is a very nice matchup. Now, to the running backs. B-Rob, I don't think he's gotten a target in like a month, if I remember correctly. So he's very touchdown dependent. That said, he is the number 17 running back on the season, but very touchdown dependent this year. He's the last time he got a target was week 4 against Arizona. Okay, he played against Cleveland. He did Carolina. Wow, that timer went by quick. All right, now speeds up. Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is an absolute stud when he plays. I mean, wow. Despite playing the Lions, he was able to kind of get that big touchdown. And Ty Chandler really didn't touch the ball despite Aaron Jones coming off injury. So that's impressive. Garrett Wilson, I'm concerned. Aaron Rodgers looks like shit. I think he threw 2 interceptions when he was targeting Garrett Wilson. Romeo Doubs has looked good. Demario Douglas should uptake his touches. Rashad White should possibly be more involved now that they lost those guys. Maybe. But then now you're looking at look at your bench here. ETN, I mean, Tank Bigsby's a better runner, but ETN will get his touches. Ty Chandler, you're good. You got Aaron Jones. And then what? Pittman's useless. Tolbert. It's just losing Chris Godwin sucks. And I feel for you. It sucks to lose a guy like that. So number 10, download spot, CopOffMyHock. Everybody, sign off to him. There you go. It sucks, man. Can't compete without a dog. No dog. No dogs.
Number 9.
Another team going down the ranks here. Mr. Bye Week. So So, Mr. Bye Week, a guy who's, notoriously done pretty well in this league. I've said that before. I'll say it again. But down goes Mike Evans. Why they played him in that game when he tweaked his hamstring the week before, I have no idea. You got to be so careful with these guys. Like, bro, hamstrings and wide receivers, especially a guy like Mike Evans, just a guy who'll go deep and get it. Oh, my God, I feel for him. So, that said, Dobbins still getting the touches. The Singletary split between Tracy, it seems like now we're starting to go more with Tracy. 27 snaps, okay, for Tracy versus 6 for Devin Singletary. So that's got to be concerning. I think were those on running plays? I forget now. The other thing that's concerning, Tank Dell. Nico out. This was the time for Tank Dell to take advantage of this. We've seen his talent before. This was his time to shine. It's not there. So because of that, I don't think it ever will be there. Stephon Diggs is still there, of course. They like to kind of throw him the ball. I mean, Tank Dell played the entire game. No catches. Entire game. No catches. Do I have it? Oh, yeah. He ran the most routes on the team and didn't catch a ball. I was like, oh, my God. I looked at that and I was like, that's a crazy. Christian Watson, 2 up and down for you to get too excited about. And then, on his bench, yes. Well, of course, he's going to plug in CD, but he's hoping Pacheco comes back. Mark Andrews, we've seen a little bit of a resurgence. Trey Tucker, maybe we see something nice happen. We'll see what happens if Jacoby Myers comes back. But there you go. Number 9, Mr. Bye Week. Thanks for playing. Thank you for playing.
Number 8.
Number 8, my opponent this week. F the median. Okay. He Debo going down that quick with that pneumonia. That was a tough little thing, happened like last second or whatever, but he's discharged, so he's doing good now. Got that roll 7. Okay. So with that said, right off the top, you got to look at Breece Hall looking more like Breece Hall once again, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, Breece Hall looking like Breece Hall. Okay. Baker lost a lot of weapons. We'll see how much he can keep up with this. I'll tell you right now, my friend, Josh Downs, he's done. Absolutely finished. Okay. Anthony Richardson's the worst thing that's happened to these wide receivers of the Colts. And they have to keep playing him because he's too young, too much capital, involved with him. I'm hoping that he kind of comes it around, but, we'll see. The Terry McLaurin trade, at the end of the day, like I said, it's really kind of getting like similar points from different position groups. That's, the caveat being that Aaron Jones comes with an injury risk, but it's also running back, which notoriously has been harder to fill in this league. So because of that, I still think it's a win for both sides. And then David Njoku coming off a big game. Let's see what happens when Mr. Jameis Winston comes to play. Winston. First, you can't spell wins without Winston. Okay? He's coming in. He gonna play. He gonna play well. Love me some Jameis. Now I have a fucking reason to watch the Browns. Next.
Number 7.
Number 7. How, they ask me, how can you put a man who is 10-4 coming off a win where he was the highest scorer of the week and didn't suffer any like super major injuries? How could you have him drop? And if I'm being honest, I don't know. I just looked at the teams and I was like, he's 7. Okay. I really like what the teams ahead of him are doing, so that's why I had to go there. But first and foremost, you just can't talk about Mr. GoPackGo without talking about those running backs. Man, they put what, 55, 60 points together last week? You know what? I like that. You like that? I like that. I do like that. DK Metcalf gets hurt. I feel for him, but it is a knee considered week to week. He'll probably miss like a week or two. Zay Flowers, I don't know how he just like disappeared. It seems like they got him touches early and then he just vanished. Now the question is Javonte Williams. Now, Javonte Williams has been pretty terrible, but he's coming off a huge game. That said, 3 different running backs got touches. I don't know if the last guy got him just because they were winning up late, but we'll see if he can continue to really kind of corral those things. I've continued to mention the Zach Moss stock stock. He's working as a backup, ladies and gentlemen. You can look at these snap share counts. 80, 76, 60, 67, 45, 44. It's going down and down and down. So because of that, I took a look at his team. I feel like when he's at full strength, at full force on a good week, like he puts up massive points. But I feel like once we have to kind of plug and play some of these bench players that he's got, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. I don't like Xavier Worthy. I don't. So there you go. I'm protecting some losses. Let's get to the next one. Why do I keep taking so long?
Number 6.
Okay, he's come a long way. 5-9. Okay, but number 6 in my power rankings. Now, 5-9. I just put him above a guy who was 10-4. Okay, but when we look at the reality here, Derrick Henry has been an absolute monster. As good as the running backs have played for GoPackGo. I mean, Derrick Henry, man, he's probably the best guy in the league at this, Jamar Chase be Jamar chasing. Waddle, it looks like Tua. I saw that press conference. He's coming back. He will not wear the Guardian cap. Like what? Because it looks weird, bro? Like, whatever. Brock Bowers, stud. Okay. Amari Cooper, he only ran 12 routes, but he caught 5 balls. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. So they're going to get him involved, and they're going to get him involved pretty quickly. The whole Ricky Pearsall thing might actually work out for him, but he did just lose Juju, which was, I think, a pretty big loss. Because I thought Juju could probably take advantage in this offense. I mean, Kansas City keeps trying to plug and play all these random wide receivers. We'll see if it works out for him. And CH, I mean, Kareem Hunt's playing well, but we'll have to see. They do like CH. They've kept him around. He's been around for a while now, and they've had him resign and all these things. So the only thing I think it's hurt is RB2. RB2's not looking too good, my friend. And the Juju injury was a hammy. And y'all know how I feel about them hammies. Okay. So with that said, the Great Gatsby. Bye-bye.
Number 5.
Number 5. Up 2 spots. Mr. KneeCapCollector biting kneecaps. John Anderson. Okay. Kareem Hunt, holy fuck, that was like, man. Now, one time you got me, 2 times, okay, try to do it again. 3 times, okay, he's getting touches. Week by week, his snap share is increasing. They want to run the ball through him because Patrick Mahomes, did he forget how to throw a football? I don't know. All I know is he's not throwing it well. So Kareem Hunt to pair with James Conner, the fact that he backed him up with Trey Benson means he's got that Arizona backfield locked down. And the offensive coordinator does like to run the football there. Man, Kyler is so good. Now, the reason why I've liked his teams earlier in the year and like him kind of going forward here is, of course, his wide receivers. But let's talk a little bit about the kneecap. Like, sitting at 8-6 despite having an absolute shit show performance from Tyreek Hill. Shit show. Okay. Drake London's looked good. Devontae Smith, I don't know what happened last week. I have no idea. I'm expecting good things out of Devontae. I love Devontae. J-Mo is going to get suspended, but J-Mo is a great player to have because when we're starting 4 wide receivers essentially with these 2 flex spots, you can really be experimental with like having like a guy like J-Mo in. Like, yes, could he have a game like last week where he gets you like what? Like less than a point? Yes. But he can get you 25, 16, 17. Like, it's just the flexibility is really nice to have. So with that said, DeAndre Swift played 3 shitty defenses. That's where he got all of his points from. The Rams, the Panthers, and Jacksonville. He's coming back and playing Washington, then Arizona. He might actually do okay there. But then after that, it's going to get a little tough. And during the playoffs, he's playing, San Francisco, Detroit, Minnesota, Detroit twice. Oh my God. Okay, there you go. But there you go. Biting kneecaps. The kneecap collector, John Anderson, number 5. Let's get to the next one.
Number 4.
Number 4. Staying put. Mr. DirtyBurt. Okay. So I think he's staying put. Might be staying put. I think he's staying put. So let's talk about the DirtyBurt. You know, he's 7-7. He's trying to stop the slide. Okay. He wants the count to stop. Okay. And for him, he lost, I forgot how many in a row. It might have been like 5. And he's trying to recoup himself for this last stretch run so that he can start making a run towards the playoffs. So why can it actually work out for him? Okay. Because who is coming back? So with Tua come back, the offense gets a little more dynamic. HN can be a little bit more productive. He can actually feel better about starting him. Kamara just got paid. He's staying put. I know there was a lot of talk whether or not he was going to go get traded this past weekend. But no, he just got paid. He's going to stay put. Amon-Ra St. Brown is still one of the best wide receivers in the league. They could say slot merchant all they want. If you look at the stats, if he ever gets single covered, he's separating, he's beating them. So if they put him, if they try to even like do any of the other shit where they try to kind of put one guy on him, he's going to separate. Okay, so try to find a way to stop him. Either way, I'd love me some St. Brown. Cooper Kupp should be coming back, I think, this Thursday. So really right around the corner. Pickens, this is what I wanted to talk about. Mr. Pickens. So interesting little tidbit here. 6 contested targets for George Pickens. What does that tell you? That tells you that Russell Wilson, compared to obviously Justin Fields and probably most of the quarterbacks in his career for George Pickens, doesn't give a fuck. He just does not care. When he sees George Pickens and he's like, as a one-on-one, this might be a 50 ball, he's tossing it there. 6 contested targets. That's a decent amount in the football game. He caught 3 of them. Okay. On top of that, he caught 3 of them. He only got 9 targets the rest of the game. So he had 3 other targets that were so or so not contested. But I think he only caught like maybe 4 or 5 balls. Either way, like, 50%, the contest ball, true 50-50 guy, you take it every time. That's going to work out nicely. Nick Chubb is coming back. Jerry Jeudy with my boy Jameis should go out really, really well. Okay. TJ Hawkinson coming back real soon. I think he's got a couple of nice things cooking up here. So that's where I got Mr. DirtyBurt at number 4. Staying put. Stop the slide. Stop the count. DirtyBurt, you're welcome. Let's get to the next one.
Number 3.
Staying absolutely put at number 3. The Tribe Called Questionable. Still number 2 in our league. 10-4. Now, with the Tribe Called Questionable, he's the back-to-back champion, Mr. Trevor. Okay, riding off a couple of hot games from Kenneth Walker. James Cook playing well. Okay. Justin Jefferson. We know who the fuck Justin Jefferson is. I can't do the gritty, but either way. I will never dance. So, Marvin Harrison Jr. has looked... I don't know. Who knows? Who knows with Marvin Harrison? Who knows? George Kittle has been an absolute stud. Now the question for him is, what are we looking at after that? Okay, I think for him, he's just got a lot more pieces that can be plug and played, as opposed to the teams before him that can produce really well, and so that gives him a lot of flexibility. Okay, now for him, we're looking at on his bench, we got Xavier Legette and Jawan Jennings. It was a nice little pickup there. But with Ricky Pierce, who knows? I keep talking up Jonathan Brooks. I'm excited to see what he can do. I really, really am. I think he can actually do well. Mostert, that offense, man, they should get a lot of plays in. I'm excited to see, like, what does Miami end up doing? Can Miami actually play football? Like, we are all wondering right now because of how bad they looked. Is it really just Tua? So we'll see once he comes back in. And if he comes back in and Miami goes back to being that offense that they were before, he deserves every fucking dollar they gave him. Okay. But there you go. The Tribe Called Questioner sitting at number 3, number 2 in the standings, 10-4. Let's get to the next one.
Number 2.
The Cincinnati Lights. One thing I actually have been meaning to do, but nobody's done it. I wanted somebody to bid $10 on the waivers so I can play a soundbite.
10 solid dollars.
That's a good one. And then I keep forgetting about Bazzies.
Congrats. You played yourself.
I'm waiting for somebody to do a trade that just falls apart so I can use that one. Either way, that might not end up happening. But so let's talk about the Cincinnati Lights, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now I feel like I'm a broken record with some of this shit, but you kind of have to be, right? Some things do not change. Some things do not change. Okay. And one of those things is the wide receiver core of the Cincinnati Lights. Now, that's it. I know Malik's coming off a bad game, but I expect things to get turned around real quickly because he's been that good and that dynamic, and they will feed him. T. Higgins has played well. Of course, he's waiting for Nico to come back, which, at some point, he's been on track with his recovery. Should be back relatively soon. Hopefully, I don't ever pray on somebody's injuries, right? But I do hope that he doesn't play. Maybe he needs an extra week at the end of that IR so he doesn't have to go against the Lions. But once you start putting those guys in, and then Derek Carr and Chris Olave start meeting back up again, there should be a very nice set of group guys there. Now, the tank. Oh, man, the tank Bigsby. Well, I've said it week one. The second I saw him run the football, I'm like, that's their number one running back. What an absolute performance. 3 games above 90 yards rushing. ETN doesn't have one. Okay, now that said, the bad news is that I don't think he's had 2 targets on the year. So I don't know. He's going to be very touchdown dependent because of this rushing upside. But I do think if they want to win games, they're going to have to try to establish run in some way, shape, or form. Okay. He is a nice little piece to have, not one to get too excited about. A nice free agency ad. Okay, there you go. Still a very solid team from him. Bijan, another great performance. Kyler's a stud. Dalton Kincaid is great. Everything's going to be fine. So with that said, sitting at number 2, previously number 1, the Cincinnati Lights with a 9-5 record. Creeping on up. Let's get to the final. You're number 1. You guys know you guys know what it is. You know what it is. All right, the Ayahuasca. I don't need no fucking script. You think I need a fucking script to talk about the Ayahuasca Chemist at number 1? Okay, look, right off the bat. Let's just talk. Josh Allen, Amari Cooper. It's gonna work. It's gonna work well. He's a solid route. It's gonna work. Running backs, Kyron Williams, stud. Monty, he's still playing. Okay, he's still healthy. Then at wide receiver, we miss Rashee Rice. Okay, but we gonna be fine. AJ Brown came back. He looked fine. Brian Thomas Jr., ladies and gentlemen, Brian Thomas Jr. is the number 8 wide receiver on the season for fantasy football. Okay, coming off games of 22, then 5, then 23, 21, 9, 12, 15. These are solid numbers for a rook. And then Deontay Johnson. Look, as long as... Oh, I even put a timer. I don't need no timer. I was going to go over it anyways. Deontay Johnson's been up and down, but, when he's up, he's up. Up. And, this is my 4th wide receiver we're talking about. Okay. We love Trey McBride. Continues to get a lot of targets. He's 7, 8, 9, 6, 9, 6. Incredible. That said, he only had 5 catches, but, we'll make it work. And then Shakir. Oh, I saw this interesting little thing when I was looking at him, and I was looking at his targets and his catches, and I'm like, this guy catch every target? He's caught 27 out of his 28 targets. He actually had more targets with Amari Cooper in there. He plays out the slot, Amari out wide. It's going to work. It'll open things up. Josh Allen trusts him. It's just, what a team. What a performance. Another win in the books. Number 1. Most points scored by a wide margin, too. Look at the bottom. You can see it. I put it in there. ChatGPT. Thank you very much. They went ahead. I put the picture in, and they pulled the things in, and it worked out nicely. So I was like, all right, cool. Either way. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. There are your power rankings. 12-1. You guys know what it is over there at number 1. Okay. Number 1. There you go. The Ayahuasca Chemists. We're taking on F the median this week. You're going fucking down. Okay. I haven't put on a skull fuck in a couple of weeks, and I'm fucking hungry. I need it. I fucking need it. I need it! Ayahuasca, baby! Woo!